My name is Brad Allen, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Yamaha P-121 keyboard. I bought this keyboard, it's been a little over a year ago. Primarily what I was looking for was something that was very portable. Prior to that time I had a Williams Allegro keyboard, which was quite heavy. And my background, I'm primarily a drummer. I also play some guitar, and during the pandemic I spent a lot of time while I was quarantined practicing the piano. I wanted to add that as another instrument for solo gigs. And so anyway, my studio's in the basement, and I couldn't see myself, lugging a heavy keyboard out all the time for gigs. So anyway, I went looking around and got some recommendations from a friend of mine, and he had recommended Yamaha instruments. So I did some research. The P-121 is real similar to the P-125, but it's a little less expensive, and it also has a few less keys. The P-121, the keyboard I have, has 73 full-sized piano keys rather than the standard 88 keys. And the P-125 has 88 keys. 73 keys are enough for most purposes. If you're not professionally playing classical music, most people who are gigging a lot are probably playing pop songs. They might be playing blues, jazz, country, whatever, and it's fine. I don't miss those extra few keys at all. So it's been a very good purchase for me. What else do I want to tell you about this? Some of the features, as I was going through getting ready to do this video, I was kind of reading, and every person is a little bit different, so they're interested in different features. So some of these I really wasn't even really aware of, I guess, but what do I want to say here? When I was looking at different keyboards, I went and tried different brands. I tried Roland. I don't remember what all I tried, but I liked the feel of the Yamaha keyboards. They felt more like a real piano to me. Some of the other pianos had kind of a strange feel. This particular piano, they use GHS, which stands for Graded Hammer Standard Weighted Action. And basically it's heavier on the low keys and lighter on the high keys, just like an acoustic piano. So you can feel the weight of the keyboard while you're playing, which is really important while you're practicing. Some people who learn to play on a digital piano have a hard time transferring to an actual acoustic piano. So this kind of solves that problem. I also really liked the sound. Primarily what I was looking for in a piano like this, it was the piano sound itself. This particular piano has a CF sound engine. It faithfully reproduces the tone of the acclaimed Yamaha 9-foot CF3S Concert Grand piano. Again, which is what I was after. The one thing I will tell you, this has a number of built-in sounds, and they went for quality rather than quantity. If you're interested in a keyboard that has hundreds of different sounds, then this probably isn't for you. The great thing about these MIDI keyboards, though, is you can just plug them in to a sound source, and it's pretty easy to have access to any sound you want anyway. So to me, that really wasn't an issue. But again, when you're looking at portability, and if you say I just want one thing in the box and I want to be able to take, I want hundreds of sounds in there, this isn't the best keyboard choice for that particular situation. But for me, it was perfect. What else? USB host connectivity with MIDI and audio transfer means you only need one cable to connect to your music making software. Plug it right into your computer. Works really, really well. It does not come with an actual MIDI out port. It comes with a USB out port. And I will tell you, that works fine on most computers. The only exception, I had one computer that it was really old. It was like prehistoric, like a dinosaur. It had Windows XP running on it, and I could not get it to work with that keyboard. Tried downloading the software, and it just wouldn't work. So anyway, since that time, for a number of different reasons, I had upgraded my software. Works fine with my old laptop, works fine with my PC, no issues there. But just so you know, that's the way it works. It's a USB port, which has MIDI capability. It doesn't actually have a MIDI port. Comes in both black and white. You know, I liked the black model, but for some people you might like the white model. I liked this because it was lightweight. I got just a cheap, portable keyboard stand to use with it, which again, when you're taking it in and out of the car is nice because you don't have a lot of extra weight. If you get a really heavy keyboard, that means you got to have a heavier stand. So not only do you got to carry the heavier keyboard, you got to carry that heavier stand in and out. They also have if you're more interested in keeping this in your house, they have an optional, it's called an L-121 furniture style piano stand. It makes it look great, in your living room, and it's more stable than a universal keyboard stand. It looks more like a piano, basically. I wasn't concerned about that because my piano sits in my studio in the basement, and basically I'm the only one that ever comes in here, other than musicians that want to record. Comes with a sustain pedal, which works fine. I actually had, the one that it comes with, just like with all these keyboards, it doesn't look like a piano sustain pedal. I already had another one that I use with it, with my last keyboard that I'm using with it. Works great. And one thing that I wasn't too interested in, but it does have it's got a port, so you can buy a pedal board separately that has 3 pedals on it, so you have all the pedals that you have on a regular acoustic piano, if that's what you need. For someone who's studying piano, especially, that would be important. Or if you're really used to an acoustic piano, you might miss those other pedals. Myself, again, being primarily a drummer and guitarist, I didn't care about those. This sustain pedal is fine for me. But what else? It has 192 polyphony and 24 voices, so it has a really nice sound to it. The different voices, 4 piano, 4 electric piano, 4 clavichord and vibraphone, 4 strings, and bass voices, each with several variations. Every piano voice and some bass sounds are sampled from real instruments, which brings it more life to the sound. You have, let's see here, dual voice, which means you can play with 2 voices together. Means you can tap a key and you hear 2 voices simultaneously. For instance, you could have piano and strings at the same time. Again, a lot of these features I wasn't too interested in because that's just not what I'm doing right now. But for those of you who are looking for that, know that it does have that. What else? You have table EQ, and that allows you to put the P-121 on a table or some flat surface without worrying about the quality of the sound. Very useful option because sometimes you don't have access to a piano stand and you put it down on a table. Just for that, it's got a headphone input if you're worried about disturbing your neighbors. What else? One of the things that's different about this particular digital piano than some of the others in this price category is it does have 2 speakers on the top, but what distinguishes it, you also have the presence of lower speakers which produce low frequencies, giving you a much nicer sound. You've got speaker outputs. You can hook it up to an amp, which I do all the time. What else? You've got built-in rhythm feature. I haven't used this too much, again, because I'm pretty happy just playing the piano. If you want the rhythm, I'll give you a little demonstration here. try something different here. So if you want to do the one-man band thing, you can do that. It's got a number of built-in rhythms there. I haven't done too much with that yet myself, but I may do more with that. What else? So to sum up, again, this is a very portable keyboard, lightweight. It's smaller also, so if you live in an area, an apartment or something where you're worried about the space, it doesn't take up as much space. It's not a real expensive piano. Amazon lists this for $629.99, 630 bucks basically. So it's a very high quality keyboard, good for students, good for performing. I want to give you a little different view here. Here's what it looks like from the front. There's several things I want to point out here. You'll see that I have this on a portable keyboard stand, and it's an adjustable stand, and the advantage to that is I don't have to bring a stool in with me. That's just one less thing to carry around. I can just take a chair from the venue, adjust the keyboard as high as I need to or as low as I need to, and that works fine. So that's the purpose of the portable stand. Also, I wanted to mention I've got a piece of wood there that I bring along, and I prop the front of the keyboard up. And I'm the only person I've ever seen say this about this keyboard, but for me, when I sit it down on the stand, I just don't really quite like the angle, and so I like to tilt the front up just ever so slightly. And you may not need to do that. You may not have any problem with the angle, because I've never heard anybody else that said that, but this was my solution anyway. I just put a board under there to kind of prop it up a little bit. It's more comfortable for me. So that's one little adjustment I made. Here's a top view of the keyboard. You can see all the controls there. One thing I want to mention, this keyboard does not have any type of a screen. I suppose they did that partly to save weight, partly to save money. There is an app you can get that's free from Yamaha that you can use on your phone, so that you have that as a screen, or your tablet. But I just wanted to mention that, so if you're ordering this and you don't have a chance to look at it before you buy it, so you're not surprised by that. That's about it. It's been a really good keyboard for me. Again, I would recommend it to others, especially if you're just looking for something that's portable and that has a great sound to it.